Have you ever felt disconnected from yourself or the world around you and found yourself thinking, what's happening to me, or am I even real? Normally, the nervous system is able to integrate our body sensations and feelings into a cohesive experience of the world and self, but during times of depersonalization and derealization, this sense of cohesion can temporarily break down. Depersonalization and derealization, or DPDR for short, are both forms of something called dissociation. They occur when your nervous system becomes overwhelmed and turns the volume down on reality. Though not dangerous, it can feel like you're in a dream and be very frightening. You can experience depersonalization and derealization on their own or together. For most people, it's fleeting, but for others, it can come and go over months or even years. When these experiences become persistent, distressing, and interfere with daily life, a diagnosis of depersonalization derealization disorder may be given by a mental health professional. The terms depersonalization and derealization are often used interchangeably, but they actually describe slightly different experiences. Depersonalization is when you don't feel real. People often describe it as feeling detached from their body, almost like they're watching themselves from the outside or moving through life on autopilot. Some people say it feels like an out-of-body experience, or that their movements aren't fully under their control. There's often emotional numbness too, a sense of being disconnected from feelings that are usually there. But your thoughts, memories, and personality are still there. It's just your sense of connection to them feels muted or distant. Derealization, on the other hand, is when the world doesn't feel real. People and surroundings can seem lifeless, foggy, blurry, or flat, almost like being in a dream or behind a pane of glass. Colours may look off, sounds may seem distant or overwhelming, and everything can feel artificial. Depersonalization and derealization are like two sides of the same coin. When your brain turns down body sensations and emotional intensity, you experience depersonalization. When it turns down sensory input from the outside world, you experience derealization. Many people experience both at the same time. One of the most important things to understand about DPDR is that although you're aware that something feels off, you're not losing touch with reality. That's how we know these experiences are anxiety-related dissociation, not psychosis. Understanding this early is key because that fear of losing your mind is one of the things that can make these experiences feel so much worse. Depersonalization and derealization are actually automatic protective mechanisms. When your brain senses overwhelming stress, fear, or emotional intensity, it has a few options, including fight, flight, or freeze. Dissociation is part of that freeze response. It's your brain saying, if I can't escape this, I'm going to turn the volume down. It dials back emotional intensity, body sensations, and sensory input from the world. That's how depersonalization reduces how strongly you feel yourself, and derealization reduces how strongly you feel the world. In dangerous situations, this response can actually be helpful. During a serious accident or medical emergency, it can blunt fear and emotional pain and allow someone to function under extreme stress. This only becomes a problem when this response stays switched on, even after the danger has passed, possibly because the nervous system hasn't yet registered that it's safe. This is why DPDR can feel so persistent and upsetting. It's also why trying to fight the sensations or make them disappear often backfires. When you repeatedly search for reassurance or try to force yourself back to normal, you unintentionally signal danger to your brain, which responds by keeping the protective response switched on. These experiences are actually much more common than most people realize. Around half of people will experience mild DPDR at some point in their lives, even though only a small percentage are diagnosed. They occur equally in men and women, and about half of people report their first episode during their teenage years. Anxiety and panic are some of the most common triggers for DPDR. For many people, these experiences start during or after a panic attack. Others notice them develop slowly alongside chronic anxiety. fear of the symptoms themselves can then keep the cycle going. Chronic stress and overload can also push the nervous system into dissociation. Ongoing school or work pressure, caregiving stress, relationship conflict, burnout, or long periods of uncertainty can all contribute. Dissociation is also a well-known trauma response. This may involve a single traumatic event or longer-term experiences like childhood emotional neglect or ongoing exposure to threat or instability. Substance use can sometimes act as a trigger, particularly cannabis in teens and young adults. Hallucinogens like LSD and dissociative drugs such as ketamine or PCP can also provoke DPDR. Some people are simply more prone to this because of their biology. High sensitivity, an anxiety-prone temperament, neurodivergence, or a family history of anxiety disorders can all increase vulnerability. This isn't a flaw in you, it simply means your nervous system responds strongly to stress. When it comes to treatment for DPDR, the goal is to lower fear and help the nervous system settle. Recovery is often gradual and doesn't happen in a straight line. Many people notice periods where symptoms ease, followed by days when they feel more intense again. This doesn't mean you're going backwards, it's just a normal part of the nervous system learning that it's safe. Here are some treatments that have shown effectiveness in addressing DPDR. Acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT for short, helps to shift the focus away from fighting feelings of uncertainty and unreality to allowing those sensations to be present and not treating them as dangerous. It also helps you step back from frightening thoughts like "I'm losing my mind" and see them as just that, thoughts, not facts. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT for short, helps by targeting the anxious thoughts and behaviours that maintain DPDR. It focuses on identifying unhelpful beliefs like "this means something is seriously wrong with me" and learning to respond to them more realistically. CBT also reduces avoidance and reassurance seeking, helping people re-engage with life rather than constantly checking symptoms. Mindfulness helps by teaching you to notice sensations, thoughts and emotions without judging or trying to escape them. Instead of checking whether you feel real, mindfulness encourages gentle awareness of the present moment, even when it feels strange. Over time, this reduces hypervigilance and anxiety. Like mindfulness, grounding techniques help with DPDR by gently reconnecting your attention to the present moment and the physical world, especially when you feel detached or unreal. Grounding focuses on noticing simple, concrete details around you, like the feeling of your feet on the floor, the temperature of an object in your hand, or the sounds in the room. Techniques such as naming 5 things you can see and slow-paced breathing can help to signal safety to your nervous system. The primary goal of all these techniques is to show your nervous system that there's no immediate danger. Because when your nervous system feels safe again, your sense of self and reality can gradually return. DPDR can feel frightening, but it's not dangerous. They're signs of a nervous system trying to protect you. And with understanding, patience, and the right support, they can fade over time. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, drop a comment below or share it with someone you think might benefit.